lines of the other questions, we actually need to look further back. We need to look more broadly than just Syrian refugees. The current crisis indeed has been triggered and highlighted by the wave of Syrian refugees, but the Syrian refugees are not necessarily where the challenges mainly come from, or where the policies come from. As you may recall from our course in European history, migration has played a huge role throughout the history of Europe. If you think back to the creation of the Holy Roman Empire in 800, when Charlemagne, Karl der Große, as we call him in German, was crowned in Aachen, central Germany. This came at the end of a huge wave of migration all across Europe, and a huge intermixing of various influences. And we've really seen waves of that again and again over the centuries. To bring us somewhat closer to the present and current policies, you need to bear in mind that in the 18th century there was a big call by the Russian Empress Tsarina to bring Germans to today's Russia, to farm the land, to develop the land, and to develop the economy. And also in the 19th century, there was and even before that, there was a huge migration of Germans and German speakers to the United States. So again, migration has been a very common phenomenon for a very long time. Migration as such is not a new phenomenon. It's not that this question of the Syrian asylum seekers came out of nowhere and is without a context. Germany's policies on refugees and asylum seekers do very much depend on what happened before the Second World War, and in the Second World War, as well as at the conclusion of the Second World War. So it was Nazi Germany's declared goal to occupy Eastern Europe and to claim it as German territory. So at the end of the Second World War, Germany did feel responsible, did feel compelled to compensate for this aggression, and to make it clear that it was ready to accept anybody who was being persecuted. As you'll see in the materials that I've sent you, the German constitution had a very clear statement that whoever is being prosecuted for political reasons will be welcome and will be accepted in Germany. Now, of course, things are never quite that simple. Over the years, there were also waves of refugees coming to Germany, for instance with the Hungarian uprising against the Warsaw Pact in the second half of the 1950s, and quite a number of others over the years. So in 1992, 1993, the German government decided to make its policies somewhat more restrictive, and to make it clearer what criteria people needed to meet to be accepted as refugees in Germany. And there are different categories of refugees, where basically you have a step-by-step categorization of those who are accepted without term limits, without any kind of restrictions. There are those who are accepted for a limited period of time, and there are those who are accepted purely on humanitarian grounds. Now, Germany has been known among refugee communities to be an attractive country of destination, partly because it's a thriving economy. It's a thriving society that has a high standard of living and has very strong social support, both for its own citizens and for refugees coming into the country if they are accepted with refugee status. And also, the chances of being accepted with refugee status are relatively good. Roughly 30% of asylum applications are granted, by far not all of them at the highest levels or without any restrictions, but in total, if you take all categories together, roughly 30%. So it's not that one single person in Germany, Angela Merkel, has decided we have a responsibility to the world or to these groups of refugees in particular. It's overall that Germany has felt obliged to really implement the international agreements under international humanitarian law as set down in the UN treaties since the Second World War. And Germany tends to be more effective at implementing them than some of its other European partners, and therefore has become more attractive for asylum seekers, and therefore so many of the asylum seekers have been going to Germany rather than to other parts of the EU.